Now the latest on the unfolding tragedy of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17. Wreckage is scattered across the countryside of a small town in the Ukraine near the Russian border, and a U.S. official says that plane was blown out of the sky by a missile.
Yeah, and Ukraine security services claim 2 intercepted phone calls show rebels shot down the flight with 295 people on board. The pro-Russian separatists have denied involvement.
Our team coverage begins with 7 Action News investigator Ross Jones. He's in the newsroom watching out for the very latest developments for us. Ross, what have you learned?
Carolyn, Malcolm, it did not take long for the finger pointing to begin. As you just mentioned, Ukraine officials say pro-Russian rebels brought the jet down. But moments ago, Russian President Vladimir Putin said it was Ukraine that bears responsibility for the crash. All 295 passengers and crew on board a Malaysian Airlines flight are feared dead after a passenger jet crashed in Ukraine, some 35 miles from the Russian border. A senior U.S. official tells ABC News that he believes the plane was shot out of the air, brought down by a sophisticated missile, although it's unclear where it was fired from and who was responsible. Experts say the pilot likely had no time to react.
My guess is this came out of nowhere and there was absolutely no warning.
Ukraine security officials say they have obtained 2 intercepted phone calls that prove pro-Russian rebels were responsible for bringing the plane down. In the first call, according to Ukrainian officials, a rebel commander takes credit for shooting down the Boeing 777. In the second, a fighter on the scene of the crash says the rocket attack was carried out by insurgents. So far, the recordings have not been independently verified. The crash comes at a time when tensions between Ukraine, pro-Russian rebels, and the Kremlin have been escalating. In just the past week, Ukraine claimed Russia shot down 2 of its military planes. Today at Kobo Center in downtown Detroit, Vice President Joe Biden addressed the tragedy that has claimed hundreds of lives.
This is truly a grave situation. Nearly 300 souls have been lost. The families need consolation and our prayers. And there are many questions that need to be answered. And we'll get those answers, and we will take the next steps accordingly.
Now, reports from the ground indicate that flight wreckage is spread out over a 10-mile stretch. There is still no confirmation as to whether any U.S. citizens were on board the flight, but officials so far have said they believe a majority of the passengers were Dutch. We will continue to follow this breaking story and bring you all the major developments as we get them. From the newsroom, I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.
All right, thanks a lot, Ross.